The German manufacturer BMW is the next team to announce their involvement in the Le Mans Hypercar program. BMW will run a LMDh Hypercar and it will be entered in 2023. So in this video, let's discuss BMW's return to the Le Mans 24-hour and their all-new LMDh Hypercar. The first thing we need to do is talk about BMW's history in the Le Mans 24-hour. The first ever BMW to race at the Le Mans 24-hour was the BMW 328. And that year, the 1939 Le Mans 24-hour saw the BMW 328 finish first in its class and fifth overall. After some years off, BMW returned to Le Mans in the 1970s. At the 1973 Le Mans 24 Hours, the BMW CSL took the victory for its class, finishing 11th overall. BMW would run the 3.0 CSL in 1973, while in 1976, BMW would run the 3.5 CSL. In the early 80s at Le Mans, BMW would also run the M1 car. The M1 also raced in rally. I think it's quite interesting to see a supercar like this race around circuits that are so different compared to other motorsports such as Le Mans. After another short break, BMW Motorsport returned to the Circuit de la Sarthe track in hopes of possibly taking the overall victory. And the following year, in 1999, their wish came true. The 1999 Le Mans 24 Hour is regarded as one of the most memorable races in the Circuit de la Sarthe history. In this race, there were 5 main manufacturers battling for the overall victory, and it looked like Mercedes and Toyota were going to be the two teams to take it. Unfortunately, both teams had problems, with the Mercedes flying up into the trees, canceling them out for the overall victory, and Toyota with a lot of mechanical problems. With both constructors out of contention, this left BMW and their car, the V12 LMR, to take the 1999 Le Mans 24-hour victory and BMW's first and only to this day. After 1999, BMW would not return to Le Mans for 2000 and instead would switch over to Formula 1 and would supply engines to Williams, who actually built the V12 LMRs that raced in 1999. After another break, BMW would return with the M8 GTE, making its debut in 2018 in the IMSA series and the WEC. This also meant that BMW would be returning to the 24 Hours of Le Mans. After just 1 year, BMW announced that they would be pulling out of the WEC's GTE Pro category. BMW would remain in IMSA, but recently in 2021, they'd announced that they'd be reducing their IMSA program and would only run 4 endurance rounds of IMSA. Let's talk about the hypercar that BMW will be building. We know that BMW will be building an LMDh hypercar. We know that other confirmed teams are going to be Porsche, Audi, and of course BMW adds into that confirmed lineup for the LMDh. If you're not very familiar in what an LMDh is, please go check out my video on the Le Mans Hypercar series. There's a link in the card above. This explains what the difference is between the LMH and the LMDh and an overview of the Hypercar series itself. Before we move on with the video, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. I highly recommend this as I do a lot of motorsport content such as WEC, IMSA, IndyCar, and Formula 1. I also do stuff like commentary, motorsporting, gaming content, anything you can really think of when it comes to motorsport, so please hit that subscribe button. So we're now into the second half of the video, and it's time to talk about BMW's adventure going from 2023 onwards, the facts on what we do know, and of course, BMW's future success in these categories. First of all, let's talk about what we know. This photo was posted by the CEO of BMW's M division. It states, "We are back Daytona 2023 with the picture of the V12 BMW LMR." I'm now going to quote this interesting sentence from BMW's head of motorsport. It reads, "BMW is back on the big motorsport stage. In entering the LMDh class, BMW M Motorsports is fulfilling the prerequisites to challenge for overall victories at the most iconic endurance races in the world from 2023. That highlighted piece of information says that BMW will be challenging for overall victories at the most iconic endurance races in the world. So we know for sure that BMW is going to be part of the IMSA series as Daytona is part of IMSA. And it's not officially confirmed yet, but by reading that quote and from some other sources, we can pretty much confirm that they will return to the WEC and the Le Mans 24 Hour, as that particular race is an iconic venue. So I think we can confirm that BMW is heading over to the IMSA series, and the WEC seems to be on their list as well. So now we get into the big question, why is BMW heading over to the Hypercar series? I quickly want to talk about Formula E, as BMW have recently announced that they will exit the Formula E Championship at the end of Season 7. BMW says they are quitting Formula E to focus more on the electric vehicles they're producing. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because I think another reason for BMW leaving Formula E is so they can focus all their attention into the new Hypercar program and their new LMDh that they're building. As of June 2021, we don't have enough information or a conclusion to why BMW has joined the Hypercar series. My theory is, like all other teams, BMW are interested in winning races. I also think that BMW is joining to gain a lot of experience from this new Hypercar series because there's a lot of technology involved inside this Hypercar program, and they can learn a lot and improve their road cars as well. So for me, I don't have a definite answer at this time to why BMW are joining, but of course, I am excited to see them in the all-new Hypercar series. Now we should move into the big final question of this video. Do I think BMW will be successful in this all-new Hypercar series come 2023? There's a few factors to go over here regarding this subject. First of all, we know BMW can win races. We've seen that from the past categories they have been, such as Le Mans, F1, and others. There are two big factors to be played here. For example, let's use the Le Mans 24-hour. BMW has not been competing for overall victories since 1999. BMW's experience at fighting for the overall victory in a 24-hour race such as Le Mans is going to be extremely limited compared to other competitors like Toyota and Audi who have been doing this for quite some time. We also have to remember that BMW is not as big as other brands that are also doing the Hypercar series such as Toyota and Volkswagen, who owns Audi and Porsche. BMW is actually in a very similar situation to Ferrari, who are also joining the Hypercar series in 2023. So Ferrari and BMW are going to have little to no experience at fighting for the overall victory, as much of their experience came from a totally different era, unlike teams like Audi, Porsche, and Toyota, who have been racing for many years now. I think it's all about experience. I think in 2023, their first year, BMW will kind of learn from that year, kind of get used to it, and not put too much pressure on fighting for the overall victory. Then the following year, they're going to take all that information they got from the previous year and put it into their car for 2024. But that's just my opinion. There's also a possibility that BMW could come in the first year and absolutely destroy the field. At this stage, it's a bit of an unknown to why BMW have entered in the Hypercar series and how successful they will be. I can tell you I'm very excited to see BMW back in the top level of motorsport. I can't wait to see what type of LMDh they're going to design, how it's going to look compared to the rest of the field, and also how they will succeed in this motorsport. I'm a huge fan of BMW and would love to see them succeed at the top level of motorsport. Thank you so much for watching. I'd like to ask a question. Why do you think BMW is entering into the Hypercar series? And how will their car compare to the other manufacturers? Will their car be competitive? Let me know in the comments below.